So welcome on Moessieurs for this live streaming session sponsored by John Melas. And of course, we are going to talk about John Melas Montage MODX tools about the update 2.0. Just a short resume to start. We are talking about Total Librarian, Performance Editor, and Live Set Editor. I want, by starting, to thank John for his confidence about Moessieurs to do this live streaming session. And we start with Total Librarian, as you see on the screen. And the first thing you need to know that all editors are now in 64 bits. And that's all over some great things. And one about Total Librarian is that you have not only one instance of Total Librarian like before, and you open several files inside the same instance, and you need to rise up, rise down each instance when you want to copy to paste, blah, 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 like this. And now, when you open a file, the first one, because I choose to start with an empty file. The first one is open in this instance. But for example, if I want to add a new Total library file to make some copy, some pass, to do some things, you see it's open in a new instance. So it's better and more easy to do what you want to do, like copy and paste, for example. And you do not have to rise down this one if we are in the same instance. You have the two in separate windows. The second important thing about the Total Librarian is now that it supports Smart Morph information for the performances bulk dumps. So you can manage in Total Librarian the Smart Morph performance. For example, I have this one. It's a pad I done for test. You have Drone 2 that I've made some modifications, some edits. So in Total Librarian, you can resave, send, manage, bulk, like you want. Smart Morph performances from Montage OS 3.5 and MODX OS 2.5 or 5.1 no. So that's all for the improvement on Total Librarian, but I want to come back on some other cool things on the Total Lib. I want to ask you just a little few seconds because I need to go on OBS and to show you something like this. Like this, you will see my montage screen. So I went just a little bit for the monitor who have the comeback of the live session to see if all is clear. And that's the case. And for example, I will send it to edit buffer. So do not worry, it takes a little time for the HDPVR recording system to receive the information, and for the live streaming to receive the information and come back to you. And as you see, the Smart Morph path test is now here. But it seems we have a little bit problem with the montage. That's the joy of the direct live, of course. I will rise down the HDPVR. And I hope it will come back like it must not. But we can continue on Total Lib, no problem. One of the cool things I want to show you, you can see it on the screen here. I have made it for this video. I have several performances with the same name. And I want to show you the advantage of remove duplicates you can find in Total Librarian. So we go in Edit to do this. And we click on Remove Duplicates, like this. And you see that the first one is purpose not check, and the second one with the same name is purpose checked. And you can select to all duplicate or to select none, and you can remove the duplicate performance like this. As you've seen, it's removed. It was not the same because there was not the same information in this one and this one. Dependency option, perhaps you do not like the color of the dependence. So you can go on setup preference, and here you can select what you want to do when you open the total lib. You can open the last loading file. You can create a new total lib or a new performance library. And for me, I select a new total lib as you want. And you can select the colors for a path as shield. So what is a path as shield? It's a little bit difficult to say in French for a French guy like this. So this performance is in red because it's in use in one live set. And this is the bank live set, where I call it musical. This is one of the band where I play. And if we go to live set user, you see that here it's the parents. And for musical, you can see all the performances who are shielded for the live set. So all these performances are linked to a live set. So you can change the color if you do not like the red. If you do not like the blue, you can change as you want. It's a question of taste, of course. So let's go to performance editor. No. And I select a large size for performance editor like this. You can see it nicely on the screen. And I retrieve my montage, and I will check just if I can retry. Yes, the recording video system is here. No, great. It come back. So what's new on performance editor? The big improvement, I will say you just a little bit later. The things you need to know is that actually performance editor cannot edit Smart Morph data. You can resave performances with Smart Morph data, but you cannot edit the data. I have tested just before the live, and I resaved the part 1 and the part from 9 to 16 for Smart Morph performance, but you have no screen to edit Smart Morph data. You need to do it on your montage actually. For the improvement, and this is a great and nice improvement, you can now select multiple selection for parts, for elements, for FMX operators. And it will help you to edit the things you want to do very, very, very quickly, and it's nice. I just change my scene to be like this on OBS, and I check. The live is always good for the streaming. How can we do this? So you need to select here on the number of the part. And if you want to select, for example, why not only part 1 and part 5, you press on your keyboard Control, and you press on the number here, and you see it's black now. And I press the 5, and you see the 2 are in black color. And now when I move something, you see they move together. So if you want the part 1 and the part 5 have the same volume, you can do it like this. If you want to do things on Not Shift, you can do in the same time, in the same way. So that's very, very great. So you can say to me, well, yes, but if I have 16 parts, I do not want to cross-check each part. Just use Shift. I will remove. You press Shift and the number 1 and 5, and you have the 5 parts we move in the same way. But that's not all. Of course, you can do it here, but you can do it for a lot of things. You can do it also for the control set. If I open the control set window, you do the same thing. I will remove here. If you press Shift, you have the same. You have the 5 in one shot. And you can change for the 5, the knob, and the settings, etc., etc. Of course, for the control set, you can do it in the same way for the super knob links, and you do in the same way. This time I use control, for example, because there is only 2. I can select like this, and you can do what you want, of course, like this for the super knob links. You can do also this for the scenes. It's a great thing to do on the scenes if you want to have to restart, because you do some things on scene 1 and you want to do something very similar to scene 2 from the performance editor. So I select this 2-1, and of course you can see it's do the same things, etc. I will not check all the things. And like this, when you have done, for example, you go on scene 2 and you can just change little things you want to change on the second scene, etc. You can do on all tabs like this. You can do it for the zone, but here for the zone I have nothing. So I will not go deeper because it's the same thing and the same way to work. And of course, if I open the AWM2 editor, I can do the same things for the AWM2 elements. So you can do control if you want to select some of them, or you can do it with shift if you want to select all. I will not take this example. I will share something. I will go. So as I remember, if you made here a left click, you have the several, well, I can say in English, you can navigate like this. It's more easy to say. And select the performance you want. And if you do right click, you open the search for selecting, and if I search soft, and if you shoot me on Moessieux, you know that I really love this pad, VP Soft. It's a very great pad, and I choose it because also it's only 2 elements, so it's more easy for the video to show you some things. So if I want for these 2 elements to have some things in the same way, for the levels, for what you want. So you can do in the same way, so you do not need to copy, etc., etc. Elements completely. You can check like this, you move what you want to be equal for the 2 elements, and you can do on all windows, etc. And ta-da, it's done. So it's very, very great job, John, you have done here. It works also here for the pitch envelope, as you've seen, but the screen is a little bit smaller. So perhaps you can think, if I do it this here by opening this, like this, I do it with the mouse on my screen, and if I close, as you see, no. When you open this window, you do not have the same adjustment on the element 2, but remember that with John Melas, you have always a solution you can do quickly, copy and paste. So my advice is to do this for the envelope, all the envelope, and the pitch envelope, the filter envelope, the AUG envelope. You can do it more quickly. You open this window, you see larger things, it's better. And when you have done it for one element, copy and paste. This is a thing that you cannot down on Montage. You can only down it on the performance editor. And if we're going to choose, I will come back for this one, why not? If I want to choose, you discuss a lot in the comments. I choose this one because you have the FMX editor, and you can do, of course, the same thing. And yes, on the screen, you cannot see it on the screen, but it's work in the same way, like this. And you can do the things like that. And you see, it's smooth for all. So very important for the FMX. Just understand that you only see the black on the square, but it's for all. And it's very important for the level envelope of the operators if you want to have the same level envelope, so you can do it quickly and nicely and on all screens with the performance editor. So that's all for the improvement on the update 2.0. But I want to show you and to recall some things. Perhaps people who are here on Suit Live have the performance editor and know things, but perhaps there is some people who do not try it. You can try the demo version on the John website. Go on it. But there is a lot of advantage of using the performance editor, because if you go on edit, you have copy options, and you can copy a lot of things that you cannot do directly on your Montage or your MODX. So that's very, very great to work with the performance editor also for this. So you can copy in one performance the reverb FX. It's a system FX, or the variation, or the master, and you can select one other performance and paste it. So you cannot do it on your Montage, on your MODX, but you can do it in the John Melas performance editor. You can also select all effects like this. You can also do it for the master cue. You can copy control set, and you can copy also in parts in the same performance, or in one of the performance. You can copy the insertion FX, the arpeggio, the control set, the motion sequence lane also. And for the super knob, you can copy the motion sequence lane of the super knob, the knob auto lane, and the settings for the other input. Here it's for one performance supernova, of course. That's all for the performance editor. I think we are covering most of the things we need to see here. So I will close this. I just come back to OBS Studio and select my scene free. My scene free have the good settings for the live set editor. So we are on Montage here, of course. We are on Montage, but it's working the same way on the MODX tools, of course. And I directly go also on OBS Studio and select my montage screen. Like this is better. So what's new in the live set editor? So you can do the same things. You can select multiple selection for the slot you want to move. Perhaps I will shake on one of the page. I will shake page 2. Yes, because I want to have this one. I want to have sugar. So if you want to move in the same way, control, you can select some of them when you click on each number. And if you do shift, you can select directly this 6 one. And if you forget one, for example, I forget this one, you can select by control the 7. And you can move them in one shot, like this. So you see it's moved. Where you want, so you can select multiple. And in the same way, so I set all the sugar. Why does I have 7 performance with sugar? They are not have the same setting. One is organ only, one is organ and strings. And for example, in my band, I saw that the volume is not great, and I need to change the volume because when we play, it's not good enough. You do not have to do it on each live set slot and come back on the Montage or the MODX and say, edit, first live set, and I set 80, etc. You can do it for all in one shot, like this. You can change the color. For example, if I want to have the color, I remove for the organs. This I want they are all red. I change on all. And like this. So I can change multiple selection in one shot. I choose to have the HDPVR because I will go in live set view on my montage. It will be better to show you the next thing. So you see on the montage, it will come in the streaming soon. I am on sugar, and now I want to go on happy. And you can see it's on happy. Yes, it takes a little bit time for the monitor control to me, for me to see if it's work on live for you. It's work. It's on the video, of course. And tada, you see. That's all the things I want to show you for this live session. And we are near the half hour. Yes, very near, very close, 28 minutes. I want to thank you all for coming and shoot this free live session sponsored by John Melas. And I wish you good music and good times. And I hope you like this live streaming. Do not worry, it will come back on Moessieux YouTube channel with an optimized video and audio session as soon as possible. And now I will just a little bit jump to French for French followers who do not clearly understand English. Just some little few minutes. Like this, if you want to exchange with John, like I see that you have a lot of discussion with John here, and it's great. It's a good opportunity to talk directly to him and to ask questions and to have feedback. And I will just jump to French to explain a little bit what I've done on all this live session. And after, it will be time to eat for everybody. Voilà, donc on repasse un petit peu en français, mais alors assez rapidement. Donc, juste pour vous expliquer, si vous avez du mal à comprendre l'anglais, ce que j'ai un peu fait tout au long de cette vidéo, j'ai essayé de parler pas trop vite, hein, mais bon, peut-être que c'était un peu rapide. Hein. Je parle beaucoup et je parle en général assez vite, c'est le sud. Donc sur le Total Librarian, donc j'ai expliqué que en fait on est passé en 64 bits et maintenant ça permet, alors quand on ouvre un fichier vide, il ouvre le premier fichier directement dans cette instance, on va dire, dans la grande fenêtre générale de Total Lib. Et avant, vous aviez une grande fenêtre générale et si vous ouvriez 3 fichiers, ben, vous aviez 3 fichiers dans cette grande fenêtre, il fallait baisser les fichiers, les monter, les descendre, etc. etc., etc. Et ce n'était pas forcément super pratique. Maintenant, avec le 64 bits, eh ben, chaque fichier que vous ouvrez s'ouvre dans une instance ou grande fenêtre Total Lib séparée, différente. Et c'est vachement plus facile comme ça pour gérer vos copier-coller. Le Total Librarian donc, accepte de recevoir les informations des performances Smart Morph. Donc vous pouvez les recevoir, les envoyer, etc. etc. Et puis, j'ai fait aussi un petit rappel. Là. Ah, j'ai oublié quelque chose. J'ai oublié quelque chose, mais c'est pas grave. Je vais y revenir. L'avantage de enlever les fichiers qui sont en double, ce qu'on appelle les duplicates en anglais. Donc, vous avez vu comment ça marchait. J'ai expliqué un petit peu ce que c'était que les dépendances et les couleurs que vous pouvez changer. Et puis, on peut aussi envoyer un program change. Vous êtes sur Total Lib, vous dites, tiens, j'aimerais travailler cette performance. Vous la sélectionnez, clac, send program change. Et vous avez directement cette performance sur votre montage ou votre MODX. Pour le Performance Editor. Donc, vous avez vu, j'ai pu faire des sélections de multiples part elements opérateurs FMX. Simplement, si on fait CTRL plus clic gauche de la souris, donc le CTRL plus clic gauche de la souris, vous pouvez en sélectionner de manière séparée, une par une, hein, la 1, la 4, la 6, voilà. Et si vous faites Shift, donc c'est la flèche qui monte vers le haut, qui est juste au-dessus de CTRL sur les claviers Windows, sur Apple, je ne peux pas vous dire, j'en ai pas. À ce moment-là, vous pouvez sélectionner plusieurs parts d'un coup, de la 1 à la 6, de la 1 à la 8. Puis j'ai rappelé tous les avantages des copies d'effets, des copies des arpèges, des copies des enveloppes qu'on peut faire dans le Total Lib. Donc pour le Live Set Editor, voilà, vous avez vu un peu la même multiple sélection qu'on peut faire en même temps. Et puis, vous pouvez sélectionner directement maintenant, ça c'est un des avantages de la version 2, vous pouvez sélectionner en même temps, je regarde mes débits qui tombent, c'est impressionnant, il y a des fluctuations, il y a trop de monde sur Facebook les amis, directement à l'écran le pavé live set. So I finished to explain in French what I have done, but we have some streaming problems because it seems there will be a lot of people who stream on Facebook. It's the same thing as on YouTube sometimes. Also, like the video is recording, I come back here to the Total Lib because I have forgot to show you one thing in Total Lib. In Total Lib, you can do an export for your DAW. You can export and you use a list to Cubase, to Cakewalk, to Digital Performer. So like this, you can retrieve all your user and record it quickly. Et donc, j'expliquais, tant que j'ai encore un peu de débit, que qu'on pouvait exporter, donc notamment quand vous avez vos fichiers user, même si moi sur Moessieux je vous mets les patch lists et les scripts, il n'y a que les presets. Forcément, je ne vous mets pas mes users à moi, c'est pas intéressant. Vous pouvez exporter donc vos users en fichier pour Cubase, pour Cakewalk et pour Digital Performer. Voilà, donc vu les performances de débit, et ça c'est pas de chez moi, c'est la réception chez Facebook qui est en train de cracher, donc je pense qu'on va arrêter ce live là. J'espère que ça vous aura plu quand même, hein, malgré les petites coupures à la fin là. On a tenu le plus gros du temps, c'est pas mal. Et je vous dis à bientôt, au revoir. And just to finish, I want to thank you to be here. Sorry for the streaming problems, but that's the live. And seems that Facebook is busy because I do not have problems here at home with my internet connection. So I hope you have liked this live. Do not worry, I will re-put it in much better quality. And I'm cutting when it's cut the live here on Facebook, and you will have a nice version as soon as possible on YouTube. So bye, and see you on the next time.